Alright guys, welcome back to another Omnia video where we are about to look into Fran's rework and her LD ability and why I think that she is right back up there as being one of the strongest debuffers in the game. We're going to talk about the changes. We're going to talk about what her stacks does now, because now her stacking ability is now, it goes further past 5 stacks now. It goes up to 10. And between 5 and 10 stacks, there is a lot of extra stuff that is really going to benefit Fran. And I feel like she is really going to be a very spicy character to have in team comps now. So we're going to talk about all that in this video. So as always, if you do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. And let me know either before or afterwards how you guys feel about Fran's changes. Now, Fran's rework, her Crystal level 55 Awakening, which is a Feral Strike Extend. She gets an extra 2 usage, so now it has a max usage of 9. When you are using Feral Strike, it increases the Brave potency from large to tremendous, and it allows for 150% max Brave overflow. When you are using her plus version, it turns into a 4-hit range plus HP attack dealt 3 times. So they gave her multiple HP dumps now. And she also got an increase to Brave potency, which I feel like she needed that for the longest time. Her Crystal level 60 Awakening, which is the Whip Kick Extend. She also got an extra 2 usage to skill 2. So now she has a max usage of 7. When you're using Whip Kick, it increases the Stolen Brave max Brave overflow limit by 30% up to 150% now. And when you are using the plus version, it turns into a 3-hit AoE range Brave plus HP attack dealt 4 times now. Again, more HP dumps, and she also got an increase to Brave potency. And you're gonna see why with her LD ability, why I feel like she should be capping a lot with the amount of damage that she will be inflicting now, especially when you have the Vieira punishment debuff on the enemy. Now, her LD ability, which is called Celestial Rain, it has a max usage of 3. It is a 4-hit AoE range Brave plus single target HP attack dealt 3 times. When against a single target, increase Brave damage dealt by 60%, and it allows for 180% Stolen Brave max Brave overflow. It inflicts the enemies or targets with 6 turns of the 3 stacks of Vieira's punishment. This ability increases max stacks of Vieira's punishment now to 10 stacks instead of 5. And you also get a free ability use after her next turn, or on her next turn. Now the debuff, the Vieira's punishment, it increases by 1 stack when receiving a Brave or HP attack, and it's only once per turn. When an enemy with at least 5 stacks is present, it turns some abilities to their plus variant, and the max stacks now is at 10 instead of 5. Now, what I'm gonna do because it is a lot of information in these 10 stacks, is I'm gonna first talk about the Temp Stack. So the Temp Stack, when you get it to max stacks, it increases all of the above effects. So basically, it doubles on the percentages that you see here on the screen. So let's go from, let's take example 4 out of 10 stacks. So at 4 stacks, the enemy gets a magic attack down in that frame debuff. Originally, it was a 10% magic attack down. Now it is a 20% attack down. Now, if we jump over to the new stacks, so at 6 out of 10, originally, or not originally, because technically this is new. So at 6 out of 10 stacks, the enemy gets a 10% speed down. Once you reach 10 stacks, you get a 20% speed down. At 7 stacks, you get a 20% Brave damage taken up on the enemy. Once you reach 10 out of 10, you get a 40% Brave damage taken up, which is really, really good for Fran, because that gives her another opportunity to be able to do more Brave damage. So it's a good amount for what they gave her. Now at 8 stacks, you get a 15% HP damage taken up, but once you reach 10 out of 10, it is a 30% HP damage taken up, which is great. He is going to be dealing damage now alongside with this frame debuff on the enemy. At 9 stacks, you get a 40% Brave recovery effect down. Now, this brave recovery is on the enemy. This is not on us. But that's a good thing because there are some moments where sometimes the enemy will gain a bunch of brave all of a sudden and then just automatically hit you with an HP attack. Where with this debuff or this new effect on the Vieira's punishment, the amount of brave that they will be able to regen will be much lower, which in turn will prevent any surprise HP attack, and it'll be a little bit more easier to break the enemy. Now, when you are at 10 out of 10, it is an 80% brave recovery effect down. That is a big amount, a very big amount. So the opportunity to be able to break the enemy, I feel will be much higher with this ninth stack on her debuff. So it's really, really solid. The 10 stacks, again, it doubles the effects to the values displayed on the brackets, which we just went over, and then no increased CD effect for 5 stacks on the range resist down. So think about it. You have all of these new effects on this frame debuff, and you also got that range resist down. I mean, it's almost like they are wanting to make sure that Fran is always going to be dealing damage now. It's always going to be dealing brave damage now. Now, I had some people in the showcase video mention that, well, what happens if they cleanse the buffs and everything like that? I mean, that should be nothing new for most Lufenia fights, most Lufenia Plus fights. I mean, the bosses will cleanse here and there. I mean, hell, there might be some bosses where they might not even cleanse at all, and you can take advantage of that and just keep dishing out damage over and over and over again. But I mean, that whole cleansing thing, that's really nothing new, because I mean, I think we've always had to put up with that. We've always just have to make sure that the only way to get around that is to just time when we use all of this. And we also have 3 usage of Fran's LD, Fran's LD ability. So I mean, if anything, if they do cleanse, we could just put that back once again, and we could just build up the stacks. We can kill building that up. And if you have the right team comp with Fran, then it shouldn't be too much of an issue, because if say you have another support character with you, or if you have BTFX active, it's not going to change too much on it, because by the time you get back onto it, you should be good to go. Now, if you're able to delay the enemy, then you definitely don't have to worry about it. You can easily just take advantage of that and just obliterate the enemy. So it would have been nice. Now, there was one comment that was mentioned. It would have been perfect, 100% perfect. And I think it would have... Okay, so it would have been perfect if she got the same framed golden debuff that Kadash has on Fran's Vieira's punishment debuff. That would be nasty against the enemies, and you wouldn't have to worry about the whole cleansing or anything like that at all. Also, another thing that I mentioned this during the stream, but I also mentioned, imagine if this Vieira's punishment, at least from stacks number 6 to 9, was a party-wide effect, and it was gold framed. That would be insanely busted on Fran. It would be to the point where she would be very much overpowered and almost like a must-have in team cons. But again, that always depends on how how the Lufenia fight is, what do you have to put up with, etc., etc. But just imagine if she actually got the golden frame debuff, or she would have gotten that, or she would have made her 6 stacks, or excuse me, stacks 6 through 9 a party wide. That would be in freaking insane. But anyways, I mean, the most we can do is just dream, right? So, her LB effect. The Celestial Aerial Advance Up ++. When an enemy afflicted with Vieira's punishment is present, it turns her Brave Attack into Brave Attack ++. Her Brave Attack ++ is now a 3-hit AoE range Brave Attack. When attacking a single target, it increases the brave damage dealt by 60%. It increases the target's active Vieira's punishment stacks by 2. And it has a low action delay. Oh, okay. So that was another thing that I was wondering is how that actually works. Because to have to increase the stacks by 1, it would take forever to to get to 10 stacks. But now we have a Brave Attack Plus Plus that is able to increase it by 2. That actually saves a whole lot of time, and you can get back to max stacks pretty quickly. So I do like they changed that they did that with her her Brave Attack Plus Plus. Fran's LD call is basically the same thing that I mentioned earlier attack-wise. It inflicts 4 turns of the 3 stacks of Vieira's punishment to all enemies with a max stacks at 10. It increases by 1 stack when receiving a Brave Slash. Oh, okay. So it works the same way with using it as a call. Okay. One thing to... Okay. Except that the percentages are different. So if we ignore 1 through 5 and we go to 6, so it'll be, if we get it at 10 out of 10 stacks, it'll be a 10% speed down, 10% Brave damage taken up, 10% HP damage taken up, and then 10% Brave recover effect. Okay, so that's not, the percentages are not really all that for using her as a call. So I think she is much better just going in or having her in team comps. And then it says Vieira's punishment and Vieira's punishment call cannot be active at the same... Oh, cannot be active at the same time. I'm guessing that they probably didn't want players to probably stack these stacks much faster. That's my guess. But yeah, no. So I am happy with how they did Fran's LD ability. I think that she is once again one of the top debuffers now in the game with all of this in just 1 frame debuff. Again, you know, you could wish that this would have been a golden frame debuff, but I mean, like, I guess they didn't want to go that far into making her like so overpowered, which I don't blame them, because then I think they want to try to balance stuff out so that you won't have to maybe not use one character all the time. I don't know. I'm just kind of taking wild guesses right now. No, but I like the changes that she got. I like the new stacks that she got. I think that's really good, and especially now that you are able to double everything on it. Like, it really makes us solid. And then, like, the rework is crazy. Like, multiple HP dumps now, extra usage, extra increase in Brave potency. Yeah, she's looking very spicy. I mean, well, she looks spicy, but yeah, you know, that's not the point. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to see what you guys feel about Fran. I will be pulling for her LD weapon. Hopefully I can snag it with tickets. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Other than that, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.